So there have been some misconceptions in the comments that I want to correct. So this video, I'm going to talk about what a voice teacher is and what a voice teacher is not. So a voice teacher is not a scientist, okay? To get my degree, I took one voice and speech pathology class. And frankly, I learned more from looking on my own and reading books. The only reason I currently know what I know now is because I've been studying with a voice and speech pathologist for 4 years. So this is not to say that voice teachers are hacks. Voice teachers just teach people how to sing. And really, here's the honest trick. Voice teachers actually only guide people to learn to sing. This is not like a piano or a violin where you can really see all of the things that are happening. And frankly, a lot of these things that we're trying to teach people how to use and control, they don't even have nerve endings. So you're really just trying to guide someone to experience something physical and then have them use that for their own sake. So not a scientist, a guide at best. So here's what you should look out for when a voice teacher starts making claims. So this to me is like the biggest red flag. When a voice teacher speaks in absolutes, I frankly would run for the hill, and here's why. A voice teacher, as we established, is not a scientist, but even scientists are incredibly careful about speaking in absolutes. Experiments are very, very hard to run, and conventional logic gets disproven all the time. We used to think in academia that screaming was flat out bad for you, that there was no way to do it right, that there was no way to do it in a healthy way. And now we've discovered that that's nonsense. You can actually do it completely safely. There's some things to it. You can't just, and let it all go and expect it to go well. But you can do that. You can scream in a healthy way. Even things, there were ridiculous claims, even just like a couple of decades ago, that people couldn't learn to belt safely. And that's just outrageous, right? So science gets it wrong until they can kind of get a little bit more and more info. So that's why scientists, my brother's an engineer, and if I try to get him to lock down on something, he's gonna think about it for an hour, okay? So a voice teacher that speaks in absolutes is full of it. And it means they're probably not learning much more because they're set in their ways. And that is usually classical musicians, all right? This person that I'm going to speak about is a good voice teacher. Got his students to sing in a really nice, healthy, lovely way. But I watched him. This is a professor at a university. I watched him say that when you inhale, the diaphragm contracts. No, it doesn't. It does the opposite of that. Again, I'm not saying this individual is a hack, but it just goes to show that a good voice teacher doesn't necessarily know the science behind things. So, don't take voice teachers' words as gospel. Try it when they say something, and if it works for you, great. What works, you keep. It doesn't matter what the explanation is, right? So a lot of voice teachers don't learn a lot of technical things, a lot of scientific, a lot of anatomy. That's fine. If it works, right? But just to clarify, a voice teacher who's like, oh, no, that's that's not how you use the word rasp. Like, that person's kind of just being a dick. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So in conclusion, find yourself someone who is humble. Find yourself someone who is willing to listen to what you want to do with your voice. You should not ever study and absolutely you should never pay somebody who's trying to impose their ideal of art upon you. You are the artist. You are the paying client. If you want a sound and they say they can't help you, walk out the door. That's it. And this is particularly pertinent for people who don't want to study classical music. Most voice teachers have a background in classical. And classical training is great for classical music. I've been working very hard to try and expand what I can teach, but ultimately, I'm a classical singer. I understand classical music the most, and I'm learning about other things because I'm trying to approach it with humility, because anything that you want to learn should be approached with humility. As they say, if the teacup is full, no more tea can come in. I think that's a saying. I think I screwed it up though. Anyway, be careful about who you trust with your money, and particularly who you trust with your voice. Make sure that it's right for you.